Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. In Psalm 42, the psalmist shows us a great and stark contrast between what he had experienced in the past with the Lord and what he was presently experiencing with the Lord. Presently, he was very, very thirsty and very dry within. He says that his tears had been his food day and night. His soul was in despair and was disturbed. This is the psalmist going through a very difficult time, a time when he's searching, he's looking for God, and yet there's no satisfaction. He can't seem to get in the place where he's back in the presence of God as he was before. And this is contrasted with what he had experienced before in verse 4, where he says, "These things I remember, and I pour out my soul within me. For I used to go along with the throng and lead them in procession to the house of God, with the sound of a shout of joy and thanksgiving, a multitude keeping festival." Verse 4 just jumps out of the page when you're looking at this psalm, because it's in such stark contrast with the rest of the psalm that's about thirsting and being dry and crying and having a soul that's disturbed and in despair. And the psalmist is wrestling with this. How is it that I had experienced such overwhelming joy and was filled with thanksgiving, and I was there in the house of the Lord, and I was there with the multitude keeping a festival, and it was just a wonderful, joyous time, but now look where I'm at. And perhaps some of us feel that way as well. This could happen on a grand scale. Perhaps maybe we think of when we were younger, when everything was new and exciting, when we were coming to the Lord, and we just fresh experienced the grace of God, and everything was energetic and joyful. And now maybe we've lost a little bit of that, and we maybe kind of have some sorrow in connection to the fact that we don't feel that way anymore. Or it might be on a smaller scale, just, here we are in the middle of the week, and we look back on Sunday, and how joyful we were. We were praising the Lord with other people, and it was like a big festival of just worship and praise to God. And then here we are in the middle of the week, and perhaps we feel tired and worn and empty. Or it could even happen within a single day. Maybe you wake up in the morning, you have your time with the Lord, and you have fresh experiences with God early in the morning, but by the time the afternoon comes, you're tired and worn out. I think the spiritual life has this type of fluctuation that takes place, and this is a common experience among people of faith. As much as we would love to always have mountaintop experiences all the time and just always be having these experiences, we have to recognize that there are some times where our soul is in despair and is disturbed within us. And we might be challenged by that. We might say with the psalmist, "Why are you in despair, O my soul, and why are you disturbed within me?" Where is the joy? Where is the happiness? And at the same time, we need to be encouraged by this psalm, because the psalmist also says in that same verse, after saying, "Why are you disturbed within me?" he says, "Wait for God, for I shall still praise him for the salvation of his presence." Whenever we find ourselves in those dry spaces, what some people call the dark night of the soul, whenever we find ourselves in those times when we're empty, when we're dry, when we look back on times when we were joyful in the Lord and it just doesn't feel that way anymore, wait for God, and we will yet praise him. We need to have the confidence that, God's going to pull me out of this. I'm going through this season, perhaps of difficulty, whether it's just for a few hours in the day, or whether it's several days throughout the week, or maybe even a whole season of life. We have to believe and we have to trust that God will pull us through if we just remain clinging to him, continue to thirst for him, and not try to fill that empty hole with a lot of other stuff and replace God whenever we feel this way, but to just continue to yearn for God, continue to draw close to God, continue to seek God, and eventually we will yet praise him. We will one day be back in that mode of praise and worship and joy and thanksgiving again. But during the dark times, we just got to hold tight, hold fast, trust in the Lord, wait on the Lord, and we know that He will pull us through. So hopefully our Psalm 42 will encourage us in that way. And with that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.